You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
To hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to Homeowner Show. We're so glad that you could join us for another live episode of the Homeowner Show Studios. What's going on, Kev?
Well, everything, because it's baseball season, and not just for these guys, the Rangers. My son plays all the time, so it's we're busy, and life is good, but I get to watch a lot of baseball right now. Are y'all baseballing right now at all? Are y'all doing baseball?
No.
Oh, okay. No baseball.
We're off this season.
Off this season. Okay. Is that by your choice? Your wife's choice, or your son was like, not interested?
He wasn't uninterested, but like he never. We were actually in the car yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, when are we playing baseball again?" And I was like, "Dude, you didn't like say anything when season signups were coming around. That was like 3 months ago. Yeah. The window has passed.
Right. 3 months, and you're just now asking about it. I feel like we're not playing baseball right now.
He's seen all the other kids like wrap up their seasons.
Yeah,
and I was just kind of like, why aren't I'm used to playing baseball right now, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I didn't spend that time on baseball, so.
Right? So I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm aware. Yeah, we.
His dad was a little more engaged at home the last.
That's right. Everybody's happy. Well, like we're actually playing. This is this last weekend's the first week we started playing USSSA instead of perfect games. And USSSA, they've got a set of fields out at Scrapyard. You know what a Scrapyard is?
I think so.
It's off Robinson Road.
Yeah.
That place is nice. It is nice. Like. Those fields, they're all turf, which there's pros and cons to that, but just the whole setup out there is just they've done it really well. So anyway, we're going to be out there for most of the rest of the season. We play all the way through June.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but yeah. Other than that, I do have something I can share. You remember when I told you about how I use ChatGPT to diagnose my refrigerator problem?
Yes.
Yeah. So, the exact thing that ChatGPT told me would happen did happen, which is it froze over again, and it said it would, and said
we're dealing with precognition now,
right? Of course. So, it told me, it was like, look, you can replace the control board. That's probably the thing you need to replace first. And I was like, okay. Well, how much is a control board? It's like, I can get it for about $75 on Amazon. Go over to Amazon, $75. Mm-hmm. Ordered it. And I was like, I don't know where does this thing go? Like, what is this? What happens now? I've got it. Here it is. I opened the box.
I'm in it for all, right?
Yeah.
All my chips are on the table.
That's it. I'm like, I don't have anybody else here. Here I am. And it was like, literally, it was like, pull it out from the wall. Mm-hmm. Like, how did you know it was up against the wall? I think every fridge is up against the wall. Anyway, pull it out from the wall, unplug it, and in the back, there's 3 screws. Pull the metal plate off, and unplug what's there and plug it back in. And that's the rough story. It gave me a lot better instructions than that.
Sure,
but like pictures, showed me pictures, and I was like, all right, I can do this. And it was a 10-minute fix, 10 minutes, and turned the thing back on. And oh, did it cool down. It cooled down too well. Like, but it was like fluctuating. Like I would go from my fridge being...
You mean before you swapped out the...
No, afterwards.
Oh,
well, before it wasn't working because the coils all froze over again.
Oh, okay.
But put the new board in and it was staying cold. Mm-hmm. But it would fluctuate from like the fridge being 38 degrees and the freezer being -2, which is okay. Mm-hmm. It's fine. 0 and 38 is normal. To 5 degrees for the freezer and 40 degrees on the fridge to -5 degrees on the fridge and 22 degrees on the fridge and -5 on the freezer. Oh, and I'm like,
that's not good.
That's a swing that I wasn't looking for. And so my wife, we had moved everything out of the fridge and she had moved some stuff back in and she had put a couple of bottles of Topo Chico up on the top, which is right where the vent is.
Sure.
From the freezer to the fridge. Yeah, that completely shattered.
Oh, gosh.
One of them completely shattered.
The glass ones.
Nice. Have you ever had a glass bottle shatter in the fridge?
It's not pretty.
It's like, well, I was glad it was water. And not like...
Something sticky.
Yeah,
maple syrup.
Right, exactly. And so I went back to chat and I was like, look, it's cooling way too well. This is what happened. I was like, the next thing you need to check is the thermistor. You know what a thermistor is? Anybody?
A Mr. Thermostat?
Yeah, no. It's just it's a node. It's a little node that checks the temperature. That's all it is. And it was like, just get one on Amazon. Great. $11. No big deal. Yeah. It said, go ahead and get 2. One for the freezer and one for the fridge. Perfect. So I get to the fridge, open it up, and it's super easy to fix. I had to splice the wire. Really no big deal. Mm-hmm. Replaced it. It was like, all right, now let's work on the freezer one. No clue where that one is. I couldn't find it. It told me exactly where it was, and it may have been right, but that thing was encased in like some other stuff. And I was like, I'm not trying to do that right now. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I did that like 36 hours ago. Mm-hmm. And cooled down. It was doing actually really great. So I'm going to let it hold for a bit of time and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm at this point, I'm one of those thermistors. I don't know if it's ever going to happen for the freezer. I don't know if I'm ever going to change it. But right now, I'm like $90 in. Less than $90.
Doing it yourself.
Doing it myself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Completely doing it myself. And I feel pretty good about it. To be honest. You know? So
I had my own adventure with ChatGPT on our 2005 Honda Civic.
Okay. What'd you do?
So it would only start neutral for a little while. Mm-hmm. That was fine. I was like, it's old, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it away to our nephew so he can drive it. Then all of a sudden it won't even start neutral. Won't start in park. And so I go to ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, what's the problem? So it tells me, well, you need to change the neutral park switch.
Well, you know.
What is
neutral,
that?
you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I absolutely know what that is.
Yeah.
So it says it's behind the left wheel.
What?
And
Naturally.
I'm like, okay, so the
Which
left front wheel.
Yeah. Okay, front. Okay.
So I get under there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to find it. It's really easy. There's pictures.
Yeah.
It even
Oh, yeah.
gave me YouTube videos.
Nice.
And so I get in there and it's not there. And so I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, what's the deal? It's not there. And it said, oh, if your vehicle was assembled in Japan, it'll be on the other side.
Oh.
So I had to switch sides. So apparently my vehicle, and I did not know that, was assembled with the engine the opposite direction.
Oh,
From what
perfect.
ChatGPT
Was this your
saw.
first time to switch sides? Just curious.
On a vehicle. It's the only time I've switched sides.
Okay, good.
Been a few
but
bar
yeah.
fights
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it
you know.
really felt like it was going the other way.
Yeah, I know. So that was, it was dirty work though.
I bet it was.
Yeah, it was. But then it didn't work. And so it said, change the battery because they normally fail together. So I changed the battery out. Didn't have to ask ChatGPT how to do that.
Oh, good.
Still didn't work. And then it was like, then it's definitely the starter motor. So I was like, I don't know where that is. And I just followed the directions and busted my knuckles a little bit. But next thing you know, it was up and going.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
And that would have been 6 or 8 hours in a mechanic shop.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it myself. It wasn't a big deal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you don't mind just doing what you did, and like for me, same type of deal. I'm like, I'm just going to kind of figure it out.
Worst thing that happens is where you throw it out.
Right.
Which I wanted to do anyway.
Right. Well, I looked at it this way. I'm a little bit less than $90 in at this point. If I call a repair person, the diagnostic fee is $100.
Yeah.
So easy. Yeah.
You've almost met your deductible.
Exactly. And so I'm like, well, because here's what's going to happen. If this doesn't work, I'm going to throw it out anyway.
Right.
But right now it's working. Right now it's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in it already.
Well,
I
if
feel
nothing
like
else,
you know?
you have a beer fridge.
Yeah.
If you don't get the freezer fixed, it can go in the garage.
Well, that's the thing. This is the garage fridge.
Well, then in the yard.
Yeah.
Important things are stored there, Ryan.
That's true.
Yes, correct. That is correct. 100%. So anyway, that's my story. What else? What you got going on, man? What do we want to talk about?
We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff because we got Ryan Aduddell in the studio. If you hadn't noticed already.
Yeah, right. Hi, Ryan.
Hello. Real quick, remind everybody. I mean, like, we know who you are. Tell everybody who you are.
So I'm Ryan Aduddell. I'm the owner of Heritage Texas Insurance Agency. So we're a local family-owned insurance agency. We're independent. So we are loyalties to our clients, not the big insurance companies. So we help people find the best coverage at the best rate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want the best coverage at the best rate?
Yeah, everyone
Those
else.
those guys are not using ChatGPT. They are out there like, I'm going to pay the mechanic 6 or 8 hours because I got all the money in the world. I don't care.
And an angry letter that I wrote on my typewriter.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, we've all been there.
Absolutely.
Correct.
But yeah, so definitely going to talk about Hantavirus.
Oh, yeah.
Got to talk about that.
Is it Hantavirus or is it Hantavirus?
Hantavirus.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's kind of the expert.
He goes, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Hantavirus.
Hannah. You wanted a Hantavirus. Redheads.
All right. Well, we'll go with Hantavirus then. It sounds more like menacing.
I mean, the way I'd always heard, because I never spelled it until recently, the way I'd always heard it pronounced from experts in my field said Hantavirus.
Oh, yeah.
And so I always thought it was Hunt.
Sure.
Just about the way people would say it. And so I'm pretty sure it's not that hard A. It's
at least an AU.
So it's weird. So we got that. And then there's this, I had it pulled up. Hang on. It's this new bill that they're trying to get passed in Oregon, the state that it's petition 28 IP 28. Did we just lose something?
No.
Okay.
I mean, did you lose something?
I saw like a click in the light or something.
Oh.
Anyway, it's a new bill that they're trying to get on the ballot in Oregon that would eliminate all hunting and fishing, and also eliminate all poisons that would be used for rodents and birds and things like that.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
It's something
This isn't true.
It is true.
What? Is this Babylon Bee? Are you sure you didn't read the wrong thing?
No.
That's a whole nother story, isn't it?
The two things can be true, Kevin. I sent you one Babylon Bee story, which was hilarious.
It was hilarious. So we're going to have to come back to that. But really? There's no hunting?
No, yeah.
No, at all?
So, okay, I'll just read. Okay, initiative petition 28 is a bold, far-reaching ballot initiative in Oregon that challenges the legal loopholes enabling the legitimizing pervasive animal abuse and killing. If passes, it will make history, creating a ripple effect across the U.S. and the world.
Not to this state.
So it will basically make illegal any.
So what I'm hearing is that you and I are going to have a nice jaunt to Oregon with a couple of trailerfuls of wild hogs that accidentally get like disseminated into Oregon, and this law will change quickly. They don't.
Well, I was actually thinking through this today because the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Oregon has like some of the most beautiful hunting land and game in the world. That place, we'll talk about my trip later on, but that place is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking carbonated beverages. The issue has become over there. Man, what is my brain is skipping out, dude.
Yeah, I can tell.
I know I was talking. Oh, the hunting thing in Oregon. Yeah. Good Lord.
I don't know what's happening, but this is my favorite Craig I've ever met.
This is great.
So
I have a chance. Y'all, I have a chance now.
You do.
I have a chance. He's a way better talker than me. So no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Same as you though.
Yeah, pretty much. Dude, the hunting deal in Oregon, I was just trying to think through like the long-term effects.
Okay.
And I was like, I finally just concluded with, please do it. Please do all these things. And then I'm going to sit over here and build my businesses. Mm-hmm. And then in 20 years, train my children to come buy that land for pennies on the dollar.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Please just continue to make it worthless to even own a business there, because like all you're going to do is drive everyone away.
Sure.
And then people who actually have capital are going to come in and scoop it up like you wouldn't believe, and you're going to sell it to them because you ain't got nothing.
That's actually, and it's gorgeous there.
It is. But they're going to do it in Oregon. They're going to do the same thing in California. I mean,
they'll probably do it all the way up. Like Washington will do the same thing. Like it'll be
a competition to see who can get.
Yeah. Who can destroy their state the fastest.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense and this is like status quo for them, making everybody go, completely electric with their, homes and everything, right? Which is ridiculous. And now you're going to be overrun by the animals realistically. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to go well.
Yep. No.
And now, not only that, the poisons that are being used, and I'm talking way out of my element whenever we've got a pest control guy here, but like the poisons that are being used to control rodents, like those are controlled by people that have degrees and like have worked through this stuff, and it's like, this is, it's a poison, but it's still safe to use in the right environments, and making sure that the right people have access to it. And those people have to be trained and certified to be able to use those things. And so like, it's not like those things are just out in the public and everybody can just go grab them and poison whatever they want to, right? I mean, am I wrong about any of that?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
It really, so this has kind of been the fight in this whole conversation is, can you sell those things at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's?
Okay. That's a fair question, and because the stuff that I can buy is very different than the stuff that you can buy.
Sometimes.
Right? Or it's packaged
It's different strength, that's for sure.
There's a different there's intersections of that, right? There's stuff that I use that you can get, and there's stuff that I can use that you can't get.
Okay.
But there is a happy median, and then like you're thinking that the stuff that you're buying at the store is down here as just like cheap crap.
Right.
It's not.
Okay.
Most of what you have access is to in the middle. There's not the down here is just like cheap snap traps and stuff
okay.
like,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then somewhere there's a thin sliver in there of like organic crap that doesn't work. You know, like put clove oil in.
Right. But Craig, I just got my liberal arts degree in pottery making. And so that overrides 100 years of animal control and pest control.
Well, that's because she asked her yoga Facebook group.
Yes.
And
But if those rats bring in coyotes and then one of those coyotes happens to, eat Mr. Charles, my cat, then it's going to be your fault.
Yeah.
It's going to go badly. Yeah. It's really going to go badly.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well.
I mean, so contrast that with Texas for just a minute. There is no hunting season for hogs, and I bring hogs up for a reason. There is no hunting season for hogs.
No.
In fact, not only that, we have places that are like, I'll fly out in a helicopter to hunt hogs.
Yep.
Like,
there's bounties on hogs.
We want those things gone because they are so destructive to so many things. And it's like you will find yourself in a place where it's like you said, like stuff is overtaking.
Right.
And it's not.
There's all sorts of ripple effects that come off of that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny how we have invasive species that we brought to the Americas, rats, hogs, all kinds of things. And then we magically have the solution to what we caused. It's always like we're causing the problem, and then all of a sudden we have the solution for the problem. And then all of a sudden, now that solution is bad. Even though it's been working.
It's effective.
It's effective, but it hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
So I would rather have rats all over my property, causing problems than to, feel bad that I might have killed, Mr. Templeton.
Which, if that's not a segue for Hantavirus, I don't know what is.
I don't know what it is either.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're welcome.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Tell us what you want to, like, this is the wildest thing. Kind of started on a cruise ship, right? Like,
okay, so like you say, it's why are you saying it's a wild thing? I'm interested to know what people think is the most like scintillating part of this story.
Well, I mean, I assume people. We're going to assume for a minute that people know the story, but to me, what's wild is that we hear about this all the time, where people are like, oh, cruising is the best. Let's go cruising. And cruises are great. And they are. I've been on multiple cruises. I love them. They're great. You can eat all the food you want to. Everything's contained. It's great. Prices are fantastic. Like, it's a really nice vacation. And yet the place where you see people in a small environment get the sickest is on cruise ships.
Sure.
And this is where we are at least being told that this outbreak has happened on a cruise ship. And now it is making its way inland as these people have gotten off the ship and are now making their way into the United States and those sorts of things. And now, I remember when COVID hit the United States, it was like this, everybody was kind of waiting. And all of a sudden we get this news story. The first person who has been diagnosed with COVID now is in the United States. And then it was like the second person is now in the United States. And then it was like, we're shutting the nation down.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like the Hantavirus has started deploying the same messaging as what COVID did. And I'll tell you, first of all, I don't care what the disease is. If I don't care what it is. We're not going back to masks.
Nope.
Okay? You know what I mean?
Not even for aliens.
No.
Not even for aliens.
No.
I'm not putting on a mask.
No, and that's especially where we live. It will never happen. And so the messaging is just so ominous right now. And I feel like it's just the misinformation that probably happens out there.
Well, wasn't the cruise ship only 150 people?
That's a good question.
So that's
I
what
think it was
I read.
176 people. Were on the ship.
Okay. But there's 176 people in my room on a cruise ship. Like when you're on a Princess cruise, that's like 5,000 people
Right.
on one ship. And so you get norovirus.
Right.
You know, you go through and they're washy, wash your hands. And it's so cute. And everybody washes their hands. You're usually fine. But we're talking about rats.
Right.
You know, like an infestation of rats on a ship is not going to happen on a Carnival cruise unless you're talking about the clients.
Yeah, this is. I think this is. This is all where like different pieces of the story get kind of broken up, right?
Oh yeah, clickbait.
Well, yeah, because one, they all led us to believe that it was a big cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
No one like because if we've all been on cruises that are normal size, like. That's got to be a luxury cruise because that's not that many people.
Right.
So that's a significantly decreased expectation of how many people are now spreading this thing.
Yeah. You've got what I call a select cruise.
Right. Or it was the Dollar General of cruises. And they just, you know.
It may have been a 3-hour cruise. I'm not sure.
They were rowing.
Yeah. Right. Everybody had a job. Okay. Yeah.
It's just not going to take itself down the river.
Yes. You know.
So you've got that, but then also the impression that the ship was rat infested because if anybody Googles Hantavirus, they're going to find out real quick that you mainly get it from exposure to rat feces.
Right.
Sure, right.
So then it becomes, the ship was infested with rats, but the problem is like it'd have to be a lot of rats, and it'd have to have been sitting around with rat crap for a long time in order for it to get dusty enough
to get in the ventilation.
And so it's more likely that whoever had it brought it on the ship.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah,
And so-
because, I mean, if you've ever been on a cruise, and I don't care what cruise it is, Carnival's the same way, they clean those things like crazy.
Yep.
And what you're telling me is there's no way most modern cruises, especially after COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that has happened, modern cruise lines, I don't care what it is, they clean those things like crazy. So having what you're talking about happen seems highly unlikely in my mind.
And it's like, is it impossible? No. I mean, like,
Sure.
yeah, I guess anything's possible, but it's unlikely.
Yeah.
And when you also begin to realize that it's not just the Hantavirus, it's the Andes version of the Hantavirus. And why that's important is because most other people would say Hantavirus, well, the ship has to be rat infested because the only way you get that is to come in contact, unless you have the Andes version, which can pass from person to person. Now, I think, were you asking me about?
Yeah, I
like,
didn't know if it was the mint, like Andy's mint, or if it was
Raggedy Andy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, no, it was like, can it be passed from person to person? Is it fluid or is it like contact?
Right. Yeah.
So
It's not respiratory.
I don't know.
Well, we're not experts on a disease that is not widespread.
Well, I know how you get Hantavirus.
Sure.
And I know that was part of the big story was in Gene Hackman's death.
Right, yeah.
Because I think his wife tested positive for Hantavirus, but they had both passed away. So
Right.
you kind of think
Yeah.
there had to have been rats involved in that situation somehow.
Well, if she died in the house and he didn't, call anybody because he has dementia, then
Right.
who knows how long her body was there. And,
Right.
if they don't use poison control in California, then the rats probably were tapping on the glass like, let us in.
For sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of that around that story, but like it is the Andes version, and so it can be passed from person to person. So it is a little more cause for concern because otherwise it's not transferable.
Right, which means now it is transferable.
Yes.
And now we've got enough people that have it in an isolated location, and now they are dispersing.
Yeah,
And that's
I think
concerning.
the report came out today that 2 of them are in Houston now.
Well, of course they are. Why wouldn't they be?
But they're isolated, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, it's strange that we're so worried about this virus, which is, if you catch it early, they say you can treat it pretty well. But then we had like Kent Brantley, ACU grad,
Friend of mine.
Who came back with Ebola, and everybody was like, "Oh, cool."
That's true.
Now we're like, Andy's, we don't even know what it is. It may not. I mean, I think I read that it's really only communicable through spit or blood,
Which makes sense.
But
I don't plan on swapping those things with these people.
No, I'm not going to go down
Personally.
to the hospital and kiss them hello. So I'm not really worried about it.
No. And if I did, it would not be through a mask. I'll tell you that.
You're just all in.
Yeah. Just say it. If I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Just go for it.
Right.
Give me the big wet lickery.
Anyway. and now you know.
And now you know. Yeah. ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. But do you want to talk about the Babylon Bee?
Oh no.
This is really so. I love the Babylon Bee.
Yeah, I wish we could. I mean, we could bring it up. But
We could.
And then
but
there's the one that says not the Babylon Bee. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
As well? Okay.
Also good.
Okay. Also good.
Yeah, it's good. So, well, this one. Do you want to talk about it?
Man, I'd have to.
I've got it right here.
You got it right there?
So it's an old
Oh, here.
Oil painting.
old oil painting from Jesus' day. And it says Jesus' parents realize he's divine as he completes carpentry project without going back to Home Depot a single time.
I think my wife showed that to me last night, and she was like, "Yeah, I always knew you were divine."
Right. It's like that old joke. It's like, look, I'm not saying I'm Batman. I'm just saying you've never seen me and Batman in the same room. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of my thought process. This is one of those deals is like Jesus doesn't go back to Home Depot. And that's, I'm not him because 17 times.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm trying to build a box.
I'm the guy that trusts that they put all the same size PVC elbows in the box.
Oh, yeah.
And then I get home and one is like 1 inch and one is 3/4 and one is, and I'm just like,
yeah.
why'd I trust them?
Yeah.
I feel violated. Yeah.
Either
Have to go back.
been punked in the plumbing aisle.
Yeah. And but it's what it is. Everybody goes back to the hardware store, and it's like that's actually. I think there's a real missed opportunity in these real estate, like the summaries of these homes.
Oh, absolutely.
They're missing a vital piece that I think that the closer you are to a Home Depot or a Lowe's would drive value to your home. Because at that point, it's like, look, you're telling me I'm half a mile from the closest Home Depot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pay an extra $25,000 for that house.
I pay extra to go to Ace because it's only half a mile from my house.
See?
And Lowe's is 5 miles.
You pay more for the product.
Yeah, for the product. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
For
It
convenience.
saves time.
Well, I mean, it's just I just think that there's a gap, if you will, in these summaries for people that live close to Home Depots. They're selling their home. The realtors should be like, that's sentence number 2.
Yeah. Don't show me the neighborhood pool. Show me where is the hardware store.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because when this
could really go one of two ways.
Okay.
Right? Because if you're a DIY guy, if you're a fixer-upper kind of guy, it could be very encouraging to you.
Sure.
It could also be very emasculating to some.
Yeah, but the realist
Remind me
out
of the
there,
store where I know nothing to do.
That's true, but but the realist out there understands. Like, I'm going to Home Depot in one day way more than I'm going to the community pool in one day.
Yes.
Right. Like,
Everybody pees in there anyway.
right, exactly. So anyway. Some people pee in Home Depot, but that's a whole different story.
Wasn't there a guy that said he was going to drop a bomb at the Home Depot, and they called the police, and he was talking about using the bathroom? Right?
He's like, I'm going to the back of the store. And he's just,
I'm going to blow
go
it
to
up.
I'm going to blow up the back of the store. Well, that's just because that's where the bathroom is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, it's a strategy.
There was a Taco Bell in the same parking lot.
That's right.
So, timing.
That's what you call an in and out right there.
That's right.
I've never seen In and Out anywhere near a Home Depot. Most of the time there's a Popeyes near the one.
I saw a guy squatting back there once.
No. to measure something. Yeah, lumber. He was measuring things. Yes.
I'm sure that's what he was measuring.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh man, so you do insurance, huh?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. When I'm not a stand-up comedian.
Well, so we are going to have to transition at some point. Might as well.
Dude is awkward and
man, you guys have been talking about insurance is coming up so much.
Well, that's all we talk
everywhere.
about.
it does.
Me too.
It just keeps coming up, and in the news, and just in like what people are talking about. And when we do post content about it, everyone's like, "Insurance is such a scam," and I mean, you get the whole.
Well, yeah, and not only that, like insurance continues to rise. This is what, and I do want to talk about this, and this may not be where we begin, but the frustrating thing for a consumer is insurance rates continue to climb. Coverages continue to go down. For example, my homeowner's insurance went up 30%.
Right.
And now it no longer covers my roof. Like the largest purchase that I'm going to make with my insurance. So now I'm paying more, getting way less. So it feels like probably a 60% reduction instead of a 30% increase, right? Like, so I think those are the types of things that we hear those things from people that we talk to. We see those things in the articles and blogs and things that we read.
Oh yeah.
And so there's a lot of that. And so when we bring an insurance agent into our studio, people are like, that dirty.
Well, and then you see the AI videos where they're like, 45% of your first year premium goes straight to the agent. And we're like, man, I want that job.
Right? Sounds delicious.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Where do I get that set up?
Well, and I think that is actually something to discuss because, I mean, especially whenever you start talking about like the initial sign up versus renewals and like all of these sorts of things, that like you're not making, hand over fist off my one, home, right?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
no.
So I don't know what I guess there's so many things and we could talk about like literally anything, but I'm curious from your point of view, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that people are dealing with right now, and what are you doing to kind of maybe try to help mitigate any of those?
Well, I think the main thing is the people look at their insurance from a perspective that is it's consumer focused instead of investment focused. So you have people that look at this and they look at it like a home warranty, right? And they're like, I pay this amount every year and then something breaks and I can't fix it. And really insurance is a transfer of risk. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying to you, this is the current state of my home. Right. And if something happens to it, you're saying, I bet you my premium that something's not going to happen, that you're going to have to pay for. Okay. And the insurance company is coming back and saying, okay, we'll take that bet. And if something does happen, we're going to pay for that. So then they're taking that difference, that amount. And really, insurance companies get a bad rap in a lot of ways because you'll see them lose money for 5-6 years, and then you'll see them make a big profit all of a sudden. Well, then nobody wants to go back and look at, okay, over 7 years, they only made 4 cents on the dollar, which if an insurance company makes 4 cents on the dollar, they are ecstatic.
Okay. That's
for them, 4 cents on the dollar is a amazing year that's never been better. Everybody's celebrating. People are retiring early. That is amazing. So people think that you're just making all this money because they may not have a payout. But when you do have a payout, like I had a claim on my home that was $85,000.
Wow.
And up until that point, we had only been in the house for 6 years. We had paid like $2,500 a year. That's
a good deal.
That's a good deal, right? That's a good deal. But if that never happens to you, you kind of don't see, the payout on it. But people look at it like a warranty. And every year your roof gets older, the risk of you having a claim gets higher and higher and higher because that roof isn't doing what it did when it was new. Or if you have the wrong type of pipes, like if you have plastic pipes instead of copper or, PEX, the risk of you having an issue is much higher. And so the company has to say, okay, for your home, either we just won't insure it at all, or we're going to exclude these things that, we just won't cover or we can't compensate for in your rate.
Well, it seems like they continue to signal that it's just going to be dropped. I mean, roofs in particular are going to be dropped off of the policy as like a umbrella policy for the home, like it traditionally has.
Yeah, I mean, it's the risk keeps getting higher, but on a newer roof and a better roof. Like I just quoted someone with a $2.8 million home. They put a class 4 roof on that policy, and that was a $2,000 discount on their policy.
Oh, it was a class 4 though, so obviously, class 4.
But what they see that is less risk, right? So if
I don't know what the classes are, but what I assume that's a really good roof.
Yeah. Is it like a metal roof? Is that what that?
So it's a fiberglass reinforced layered roof.
Okay.
So instead of just like what we put on our homes because we're normal people, or we don't have a brand new home, the quality of the material stays better longer, right? So when hail hits it, it doesn't crack the tile; it just bounces off because the tile is hydrated with the petroleum product that's in there. So over time, as that petroleum product leaches out with the sun and rain and all the effects of being in Houston, especially, it is more likely to crack, which means you have more damage, which means you will have a claim. So that's why you also see what people, look at and they'll say, oh, my roof isn't covered, or I had to pay most of my roof. Well, your roof was 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's only meant to last 30 years old. 30 years.
I think their problem that they look at is like, $2,500 a year.
Right.
Now I've been paying that for 20 years. Now I've paid $50,000.
Yep.
Into my policy, and it doesn't cover a $25,000 roof, like that doesn't, or $30,000 roof. That doesn't make any sense. But what I think that's the mentality.
Yep.
Is like so again, I think you're right. I think they see it as a warranty, but they also see it as almost like, if I put this into a savings account, I would have had this amount of money. Unless that happened on year 2.
Right.
And it's like now you owe $25,000, but you've only paid in $5,000.
Absolutely.
And that's a completely different scenario. And now they're going, oh, well, this is a great deal.
Yeah. And I have clients all the time where I tell them, look, this is a risk situation, right? So if I don't have a loan, why do I even have insurance? Hey, you don't have to. But if you have to rebuild your home and that's $600,000, do you have that sitting in the bank? Are you ready to go with that? And they say no, but I've got $40,000. Okay.
That's a roof. A roof.
Yeah. If you want to save $1,000 a year, I'll set your deductible at 5%. And so, you satisfy the loan company by having the right coverage. But don't expect to have a payout when you have hail on your roof. You're going to pay out your cash. And then you're going to be looking at your cash is gone. And what if it hails the next month? Because it does. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Or you have a fire the next month. Now you don't have that $40,000 that you had sitting there, or, whatever is needed. So it really is, people need to look at it as a transfer of risk rather than just like, I'm paying in this money and you need to, fix everything. Well, everyone wants that. The agent, we just want people to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want you to get on and say, Ryan's the best. My roof got replaced. Call him. And so it's not your agent, but it's just how the contracts really work. If they're not making that 4%, then they get bought out or they go bankrupt or, they have to be in that right zone. So it's tough. It's a lot.
Do you think that they're going to go the way of the flood policy?
You mean through FEMA?
Well, I mean, just that, back in the day, flood insurance, again, usually included in that entire policy.
Right.
And then I don't know how many years ago it was. It was like, at least here, completely separated.
Yep.
Like that was not going to be on anybody's general policy.
About 20
anymore.
years ago.
About 20 years ago. So that's what I'm asking. Are they going to, is that, because I feel like that's what they're signaling is like, we're just going to just completely separate this.
Well, we're already seeing that in the industry. So certain carriers will say, we will not insure the roof at all. Mm-hmm. We'll insure everything else but the roof. If the roof is 20 years old. Or we have, we'll call it an X wind, meaning it doesn't cover wind, hail, or hurricane. So then, if you're in that situation, which is usually closer to the coast, then we, have to go through the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association. You hear it, TWIA. So TWIA is a separate policy. So we have clients that will have, their all perils policy, a Texas windstorm policy, and a flood policy. And now we're seeing people that are buying policies to pay their deductibles.
Oh my!
Which I'm like, okay, guys, like we need to have a budget. You need to realize like maybe I shouldn't bought this much house. Maybe I should have saved a little down payment so that I can make sure I can pay that deductible. So it's, but again, it's just a transfer of risk. And so your agent should be explaining that to you. Yeah. Like, hey, I can get you a lower rate, but you are going to have to pay more on the backside. So I tell people I can either save you on the front side on your premium, or I can save you when you have a claim. So do you want to save $300 a year, or do you want to pay out an extra $10,000 when your roof is destroyed?
And really that you're right. That comes down to a budgeting question.
Absolutely. And
what you're willing to pay for it. But the other thing that's been interesting is I think there's been everything, there's a push and a pull with everything. And so forever, it felt like, at least in my lifetime, which is forever as far as I'm concerned, when your roof went out, your insurance paid for it, you just pay the deductible. Right. That's just the way it was, right? And if they're shady, they pay the deductible for you. So that happened all the time too.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But I think that what is happening now is the roofing industry has completely changed as well. And the roofing industry is now doing something that I don't think they really had to do before, which is offer financing.
Right.
And so now what's happened is, and this is where I think we have to start understanding the game. I think the game is something that whether you like it or not, you're playing.
Yep.
You're in the game. Either learn how to play the game, or you're just going to sit on the bench and suffer because you're still dressed out.
Right.
And you had to be there. You can't do anything else, but you're not getting to actually enjoy it. And so that was a really good analogy, by the way.
I like it.
So I think what's happened is like, okay, I know that my insurance is no longer going to pay for my roof. However, if I go with maybe a slightly higher deductible, save a little bit of money, then if I have to buy a roof, I can finance it and the money will balance.
That's right. Yeah. And if you have a good agent, they're going to talk to you about that. Mrs. Smith, I know this rate is too high and your roof is 20 years old. Why don't we just raise your deductible a little, because it's not going to pay out anyways if you have a hailstorm, right? Now, if you have a fire, that we can keep that deductible at 1%. If you have a hurricane, major windstorm, your house is not going to just suffer the shell of the roof.
So I think, okay, so
that deductible is going to feel okay when your claim is $120,000 rather than a $25,000 roof.
So I think, I really like that you said that, because I think that this changes the conversation too, because for years and years and years, I feel like it was like, you need this policy. And that policy had these deductibles, these liability claims, these, this amount on roof, this amount on wind, this amount on your household goods, all of those things. I'm probably using the wrong terminology, but you get my point.
It was just a package.
Okay, yeah, it's a package. And then, because then what happened is when people want to shop around, which happens all the time in insurance, right? They're like, well, tell me what package you have. well, I've got a 20, 30, 20. And if people are like, oh, 20, 30, 20, I'll give you 20, 30, 20. It's going to cost this much. You're like, well, I was paying this much. It's like, okay, well, I can do it or I can't. And that was kind of the way it went.
Right.
But what you're telling me, what you just said is like a little bit mind blowing to go, oh, so underwriting, and this is where everything changes, right? Underwriting can really do whatever they want to. And if underwriting says, I want to do a high deductible on this one thing and a lower deductible on this one thing, as long as underwriting is willing to do it and the agency is willing to price it a certain way,
right,
then we can do all sorts of things that don't look like the typical package. Is that what I just heard you say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be customized. So when you go and buy a Chevy truck, it's not just, oh, we have Chevy 100s, right? It's got a V6 in it. That's not what we have anymore.
Interesting.
You have all kinds of brands. You have all kinds of setups. You have, a V6 with, a Positrack, right? And all of a sudden we start customizing everything. But insurance can be the same way too. So I may say to you, well, you can go with a low deductible, but your roof is still old. I can get you 1.5%. And it'll save you $300 a year, but understand the roof is still on a replacement cost schedule, not actual cash value, which is different than replacement cost. And so you start getting into things and you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And so what I see is people will, they're like, well, I'm not paying an agent. I can do this online. Good luck. Good luck. Because a lot of those options are not even offered. They're not offered, and
What do you mean they're not offered?
So a lot of those endorsements and the changes that an agent can make on the backside, when you go online, those aren't even there. You just put in your address, your name, and they're like, here's the option, and it's cheap. Well, there's a reason it's cheap. It's because they're not going to pay out. And so how are you supposed to know
Is this the Dave
that?
Ramsey thing?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
And I don't think so.
So, this is not home. It's auto primarily, but they do home
auto
stuff too.
Okay.
Where it's like the whole idea, and Dave Ramsey is the one that kind of made it popular, I would say, is he was saying, look, you realize that you can get insurance without an agent.
Right.
And in doing so, you'll bypass all the agent fees and get the exact same coverage for a much lower rate because you don't have the agent fee, and the agent fee is where you're losing money. And that's where
I hear that all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the Dave Ramsey thing that he is pushed and pushed and pushed. And Dave Ramsey being who Dave Ramsey is.
Yeah, he's an authority on
He is
finance,
an authority on money.
Right.
Right? People are going, oh, great. But I will tell you, I actually went down the rabbit hole once and I got to the end. I'll tell you where I didn't press another button. It was the button that said, would you like to have people contact you about this? And I was like, I do not want 1,000 people to contact me about this for the next 12 years of my life.
That's right.
That's why I didn't press the next button.
Yeah.
But that's what was about to happen. And I know a few things, and that's what was about to happen. But is that what you're talking about? A similar
So you
thing?
can go direct to the carrier themselves and you can get the policy.
Okay.
So, pick any brand, red, yellow, blue, whatever it is. You can go on their website and you can buy that policy.
Okay.
I've worked direct for those companies, and the only thing that you're missing out on is an agent actually telling you.
Okay.
what's going on.
So okay. The only place I have in my brain for this is Disney.
Okay.
Okay. And here's why. I learned something a long time ago that has served me well over time. And that is that if I book a travel vacation to Disney World or Disneyland or wherever through the Disney World website, it cost me $5,000 to go on my trip.
Right.
And I'm going, okay, great. That's what it is. I'm getting good deal because I'm booking direct. Or my friend over here that owns a travel agency then I'm like, that girl's making tons of money. So obviously every dollar that I give her, she is loaded and she's making so much money. No, the truth is she also charges $5,000 for that exact same trip. And what you find out, if you know what you're seeing, is that Disney bakes in a travel agent fee, and it doesn't matter if you book through DisneyWorld.com, that goes to a travel agent. So that there is a percentage of that travel fee that goes to a travel agent that is contracted by Disney to package that so Disney doesn't have to.
Right.
Because Disney is not on the back end going, oh, Ryan wants to stay at this hotel and get these tickets, so I'm going to make that happen. No.
It's just the algorithm.
Right. That is not the way that works. There is some person who is physically booking that for you on behalf of Disney. Same thing with the agent. You're getting a personal touch.
Right.
And if something goes wrong, it's the same cost. It's just you're getting an advocate.
So those networks that you see, where they go in and they'll say, oh, these agents will contact you and get you a better deal. There's a lot behind the scenes because I looked into these because I was like, what is this? So I look into these and basically the agents agree to waive their fee, which agents like me, we don't charge any agency fees. We keep our overhead as low as possible so we don't have to do that. So if you're getting charged agency fees, which are non-refundable from day one, you might want to look for someone who doesn't do that because they're just passing their overhead on to you.
Sure.
Right? But those agencies are also paying fees to be a preferred agency. They say they're
volume.
vetted, but they're... I've seen some of the agents on their website. I know some of the agents on their websites.
Look in their eye.
But that's not what you want, right? So you have to have, the experienced agent that really knows what they're doing, their team that they're coaching and teaching, they're going in there and explaining like what exactly is water backup, what is seepage, what is flood, what is, what are these things, right? Because you can't go online and just click, oh, yes, I'd like seepage. They don't even offer it. So the reason you might find a policy is the same price as a local agent and they don't have to pay the agent is because they are taking those options away.
That's how they make their money. They're still making money.
They're still making money.
People are not just magically not charging things so they don't make money.
Correct.
That's not the way life works. And if you think that's the way life works, I've got some stuff I can sell you. But I think that's a really good point because what you're talking about is a quality versus quantity type of thing.
Absolutely.
As far as the agent goes. The agent who's on those preferred website things, they're going, I'll take 100 of those, please.
Right.
And you're going, I'll take 5 of those and we'll make the same amount of money.
Well,
right?
Not the same amount of money, but I'll have the quality of those people sticking around.
Yeah, they're staying.
Year after year.
Yeah.
Yeah, my agency has a 90% retention rate.
Well, I'll tell you why. I have policies with you. I'm just going to say it that way. I have policies with you. And there's a reason that I literally bought a new car a year and a half ago now. And I was like, hey, Ryan, how much is this going to be? And you said, it's going to be this much. And I was like, great, sign me up. And I didn't call anybody else because you had saved me so much money in the past that I don't even care. I know.
I still found you the best one.
No, that's the thing. I know you did.
Right.
I know you did because you would not do me any other way.
Right.
Right. And so I think that is definitely... There's a reason I go back to that chick that sells the travel agent policies, the travel agent vacations,
services,
because she's always taking care of me.
Right.
And I know that she is out here because here's what's happened before. And this happened with you. She's called me before and said, hey, Kevin, by the way, this is really cool. They just changed their rates and I can get you a cheaper rate for the same vacation. And I'm like, yeah, but wouldn't you lose money because you're not making as much commission? She's like, I don't really care. I want to make you happy.
Right.
And I was like, Great. Let's do it.
Now go tell 12 people I made you happy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I will.
The idea.
And I absolutely will do that without you asking me to do it, because that's just human nature. That's what we do. We talk about things that we think other people are going to be interested in, and saving money is probably the number one thing that people are interested in talking about, and what people want to know. And so when you called me, this is crazy, y'all. I just want you to understand the difficulty that I went through as someone who wanted an excursion so badly. I decided that's the vehicle I wanted, but I didn't want to pay for it because these vehicles, they only made 200,000 of them over 5 years.
If you made it today, it'd be $150,000.
Absolutely.
Vehicle.
And so I didn't want, right now you can go online and buy a $50,000 excursion that's a 2001 model. Okay. You can actually buy $100,000 excursions that have been upgraded and modded. That is a 2001 that has 250,000 miles on it. Right. Like that's just the way it is. Well, the one that I bought, it's a great vehicle, has a salvage title because it was deemed undrivable one time. And the reason they did that is because the insurance company didn't want to pay to rebuild it because it was not totaled. But they totaled it. And so it was bought back, it was fixed, and the frame wasn't even touched. Okay, the engine and the frame wasn't even damaged. It was the front left fender was damaged, and they totaled it just because of age. Right. And so I bought it for cheap, and it has salvage title on it. And I was like, this is great. So I called Ryan, and Ryan was like,
this is going to be some work.
It's going to be difficult because did you know that insurance agencies don't want to insure salvage titles? And I'm like, what? I didn't know that. And he was like, well, you should have. And I did.
I don't remember that.
No, you didn't say that. But so what happened is that I'm only able to insure that with one or two companies because there's not very many people that will do it. Not many companies will do it. And it's much more expensive for liability only.
Right.
Okay, it is what it is. 2 years later, Ryan calls me, and Ryan goes, hey, Kevin, can I requote you on this? And I'm like, well, I guess. Yeah, sure. And he was like, because I think I have something. And he calls me back and he's like, hey, how do you feel about getting full coverage and paying less money? And I'm like, what? Are you serious? What's the catch? And he goes, no. There's no catch. I just figured it out for you. And that's the type of thing that you get with an agent that you can trust, just like the lady that's going to save you money on your Disney vacation because she wants you back.
Right.
You know? It's retention, right?
And in your case, it was just simply knowing, what's the difference why did they give the salvage title? Can I explain this to the underwriter? Mm-hmm. So I just reached out to him, told him, like, this is what happened. Says salvage title. It really isn't that it was undrivable. He had it inspected. He had its safety inspected. Everything's good. They looked at it and they were like, oh, yeah, no problem. Okay, go ahead and run it through.
That's awesome. And like, not only that, if I ever decided to change insurances, which I probably won't, but if I did, now I've got like this
continuous
case.
Coverage.
Yeah, continuous coverage to go, no, look, like I've had this. The underwriter agreed. You have to now also, basically.
Right. Yeah. It's a great way. And that's the thing is that most of the time you just have people sitting at desks clicking buttons, right? And they may have been there for 2 weeks or they may have been there for 15 years. You don't really know. Mm-hmm. And so you need that agent that even if they have staff doing data entry, they're going in and reviewing everything before that quote goes out. Or if something pops up, it's not Jack, Jill, and two cars, and it just sails right through. You have somebody who is like, look, this is a valuable relationship. We need to make sure this happens. And if we can't do it, we need to explain why.
Yeah.
Right. So like in your case, in your vehicle, it's getting to the point where you can actually probably go get it titled as a classic vehicle soon. Mm-hmm. That whole issue absolutely goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of those cars are all modified anyway.
they're all modded out anyways, or they've been restored. So
Yeah.
same situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the thing that I love about this conversation, y'all, if this is the first time you're hearing Ryan talk, it's only possibly because you've never listened to one of our other episodes, because Ryan does listen to a lot of our episodes and he chimes in and we reference him a lot of times because you've been doing this a while.
Yeah. 17 years.
17 years. That's a while. And I think that matters. And we talk about this with real estate all the time. Like you find your friend that's like, oh, I just started real estate. You want to use him or her because they're your friend.
Right.
But they don't really know what they're talking about. You find someone who's been doing it for 15, 20 years and they're like, okay, they know the ins and outs. They can probably...
Hopefully.
There's
still those ones out there you're like,
sure.
Really?
Well, and that's
Pretty
true
sure
with,
you're using
that's true with
ChatGPT
agents
on this
too.
one.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
true with agents.
there's those people that you're like, okay, have you been learning for 17 years or doing the same thing you did the first year 17 times? Which one is it, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to really look for those people that are expanding and learning and, trying new things. And
Well, it's a good question. So how do you find that out? Like, how do I know?
man, it's not easy, right? Because everyone now just, hey, ChatGPT, write my profile for me, and it's really, talking to people that do they have a great track record? Check. You can go to TDI and you can check and see Texas Department of Insurance. Does this person have any lawsuits? Do they have any issues? Who are they licensed with? All those types of things are out there and available. But Google reviews. Google reviews are another thing. Is that agent? Just like any business, they can't change your review when you put it on there. So
I'm sorry, I need to go do that. I don't think I did that.
well,
I will.
That's great. And we appreciate that. But, we want those real stories on there so people know, like, hey, this is, legit. I had an issue. He solved it. Or even if it's like, hey, Ryan made a mistake. I called him. He said, you know what? That's my fault. Right. And he fixed it.
Yeah.
Great.
So if I call you and I don't know you, I call you, somehow I find you and I say, hey, do you have any lawsuits against you? Do you have to tell me?
Yeah, we have to disclose those things.
Okay, that's actually great because I think that's important to know.
Right.
Because when I can go on TDI and I can do that.
Yep.
But this is one of those, I am actually curious how people find you. Mm-hmm. I would guess it's like real estate many times where it's like, because I found you through Craig.
Right.
Craig and you had been friends for a long time, and Craig said, I use Ryan. You need to call Ryan. He's awesome. So that's how I think word of mouth is really important. But if it is word of mouth, if I then have to go to TDI and I got to know how to do that, all yada, yada. But if I can just ask you and you have to tell me, that actually makes it easy.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be truthful in any of those things. We have to answer properly.
Okay.
And I'm not saying everybody will.
Sure.
Right? we know that for sure. But, that's people find me through, friends and family and doing a good job. And Google reviews are great because, people more and more, go and look at your reviews.
But is that not like the secondary step?
Absolutely.
For you? Because they're like, look, if you're a plumber, I have found you most likely because I was like, I got a problem. Google, can you tell me? Or ChatGPT, can you tell me the best plumber?
The neighborhood Facebook group. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can immediately see your reviews and go, I will call you based on that.
Right.
But I feel like real estate and mortgage brokers and insurance, it's like, oh, Craig said, call Ryan. And so the first thing I'm going to do is go, okay, I trust Craig. Therefore, I think I trust you. But I'm going to go check your Google reviews.
Google your name. Yeah.
So it's secondary, right?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, most of my clients have come to me over the years more and more through realtors and loan officers. Okay. So when a loan officer is in a bind and they're complaining to another loan officer, they're like, hey, call Ryan. Right. And we swoop in, save the day, get more information that the other agent maybe didn't collect. Maybe even drive by the house. I've done that many times. I did that last week on a big house. And then I can say, hey, they put it down as brick veneer, but it's really stucco, and those types of things. It makes a big difference. But when we solve those problems, all of a sudden that loan officer is like, you're my guy, and I'm like, okay, tell all your realtors.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, Ryan's easy. I texted him at 5:00 on a Friday, and he's a dork.
So true.
He's a dork, and so he sent me a quote. Within an hour. Those types of things make a huge difference. But when I first started, I literally just opened up the Bama Road Church of Christ phone book that my mom gave me, and I was like, "Hey, Harold and Patty, I know I'm only 30 years old, and this is my first 3 months on the job. Can I quote you? That kind of stuff."
And they said yes.
And they said, yeah, people were real nice. But, when you do a good job consistently and you're like, look, are you happy? Yeah. Awesome. Great. Can you tell 3 people or give me their name or number? Let me call them. And then after a while, your phone just never stops ringing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop because people have, bad experiences, or they have a claims problem and they're like, I should have called Ryan, or I should have called so-and-so that was recommended. Just call Ryan. But
we talked about this. I talk about this with Craig even, because Craig will be the first one. In fact, he was the first one to tell me I'm not the cheapest.
right.
Like when we moved here, I met Craig really quick when I moved here, and I was like, I need pest control, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm not the cheapest. That's the first thing he said. I'm not the cheapest, and I didn't care.
No,
I literally didn't care, and it's been 9 years now that I've been using him, and I know he's not the cheapest, but I know this. I know that it does not matter what it is. He'll take care of me.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. If I need him to come back out, he'll come back out.
Right.
And it's not just because he's a friend. It's because that's the type of person that he is. That's the type of business that he runs. And those things matter.
And he expects that of all of his staff as well.
Yeah.
I don't worry about, people are all worried about termites. I'm like, Craig's going to know they're there and tell me ahead of time.
So true.
Right? Or what was it? One time you came by and I had some wet rot that I couldn't see because it was behind a bush. He's like, hey, you got some wet rot here. You might want to get, I didn't see that. How much longer would that have gone?
Right.
You're not a carpenter.
No, I just wanted to prevent future work.
Right. Exactly. Future work, but also you're looking out for me. Right.
Right.
And that's the way that, local business owners, I think the worst thing that could happen for me is for someone to just go online and say, Ryan's a total jerk. He wouldn't answer my questions. He screwed me over. And when I'm working with someone, I dread that. Mm-hmm. I really dread that. That someone will say that because I did something wrong. People are going to say what they're going to say, but that'll kill your business. It will kill your business. And so when I'm quoting someone and they're like, oh yeah, I think my roof is 2017. And I'm like, well, I'm looking on Google Street View, and that is the worst brand new roof I've ever seen. I'm like, let's get some documentation. And then I'll just tell them I'm sorry, I can't insure your home. It's not because I don't want to do business with you. It's because I don't want to do it wrong. And then you end up upset, which is bad enough, but then it ruins my reputation.
Did I tell you what happened with my roof one time? You've heard this story multiple times.
Oh, this better be good.
This is good. So, the first home that I purchased when we lived here, I knew when I bought the house that the roof was older.
Right.
But classic, nobody knew how old.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I don't understand is why nobody. Now I do know why, but it didn't dawn on me at the time. I didn't have a podcast where I knew things.
Right. The house changes hands so many times you don't know.
And here in Texas, I can go build a roof, and trust me, you do not want me building a roof. And so, but it's one of those deals where
there with the swing line
that's
stapler.
Right. That's exactly right. I show up at your house and I look halfway competent. I'm like, I can put a roof on this thing. And if you say yes, I can put a roof on your house. And I think that's why there's no documentation.
Oh yeah, chuck in a truck. Right?
That's exactly right. So there's no trail of receipts which is what they want, by the way, to be able to know when that roof was put on.
Yep.
So I didn't know, but I could tell that this roof was probably 15 to 18 years old. I could just tell. So I lived there for 5 years, and about year 3, I had a friend who called me and was like, hey, I just started a business with Allstate, and I'd love to give you a quote.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure. And he said the right thing to me. He's like, look, I'm a friend. I promise you that if anything goes wrong, I will do everything I can to take care of you. And I believed him.
Right.
And I do believe him. I still, to this day, believe him.
Yeah.
So he gave me a quote, and it was the same coverage as what I had, and it was cheaper. Mm-hmm. Great. I'll go with Allstate. I was with Travelers at the time. I can say all these names because I don't work for these companies.
I'm just nodding.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
official.
Right. So I was with Travelers at the time. It was cheaper, and so I went with him, and it was about a month later, and I got a call from his office, and it was not him. I don't think he could bear to talk to me.
Oh, no.
He calls me, she calls me, and she goes, hey, we're still good on the policy, but same price, everything, but the roof is not included.
Youch.
And I said, wait, what?
Yep.
And she goes, yeah, apparently your roof is old enough that they just won't insure it.
Right.
And I was like, but we've already canceled the other policy. You've already assumed my policy.
Right.
Before you knew, and this is normal, by the way. It
happens all the time.
This is normal. Like, it's not that it's wrong. You choose another company based on what they say, and you cancel your other one. It's completely normal, right?
Yep.
And so, I was in panic because I knew this roof was going to have to get replaced, and so I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so I called my friend and I was like, you jerk. And he was like, dude, and he was new. Mm-hmm. It was, it was a new venture for him.
Right.
And he was like, I don't even know what to say. I'm extremely sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you this. Call your old company back, beg them to take you back, to reinstate you.
Yep.
So I called my other guy. Was not Ryan. And I said, hey, what's up, fella? You good? The Astros doing good, aren't they? And I couldn't have cared less about the Astros.
Right.
And the guy I was like, look, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and decided to change companies. I don't really want to do that. Can I come back to Travelers, please? And he goes, let me find out.
Yeah.
So he called Travelers, and Travelers goes, sure, we'll take him back. Best day of my life.
Yeah.
Best day of my life. Because I was like, thank you. And by the way, 2 years later, I got a brand new roof, and Travelers paid for it because it needed to happen. But the process, I think you have to just be hyper aware of who you're working with and what can happen and what can't happen. Make good choices along the way.
Right.
And because I'm going to tell you, I would have been sunk.
Yeah.
I would have been, because what wound up happening, this is, I kid you not, 2 years later, a week before I put my house on the market, I got that roof changed. That roof probably made me on top. I mean, again, I paid my deductible and I got a brand new roof. I probably made $30,000
easily
on that house because of the roof that was replaced.
There's so many homes out there that are trying to be sold. And the realtor will call me and they're like, I can't find insurance on this house. Mm-hmm. Because the insurance
you're not going to
rate
get it
is-
through me.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7 grand.
Yeah.
Because the roof is 20 years old.
Yeah.
And so, I'll tell them, look, we can send a roofer out there. They can try to see if there's damage that can be a claim to put a new roof on. So we try to find solutions, but I have to tell them, like, look, I can't insure this house unless we do, an exclusion or it's AC, actual cash value. But your buyer needs to know they're going to go into that home and they're going to have to buy a new roof very soon, and it probably won't be a claim. So you need to negotiate that into the price of the home. So
On a house like that, say you had an exclusion for the roof,
right.
and then a year later you replace the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Can you then appeal back and say, can we put this back into the policy even though there's an exclusion that's there now?
Yeah, absolutely. And the agent should go to the carrier and say, okay, it's got a new roof. Here's the proof of the roof. Can you re-rate this?
Yeah.
But that same agent should be loyal to you and know, like, okay, hey, you're with company XYZ, and I know there's a new company in the market or a different company that loves new roofs. Let me rate you with them too, right? Because our goal is not to just keep you where you are with one company. We expect that company to be loyal to you, not just you loyal to them, right? So I'll move you to a different carrier if that carrier is going to be better.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point, because so much of what we advocate for is that people begin to think for themselves, ask better questions, and follow up with guys like you. I love your approach where it's like, no, I'm here to, if I'm not bringing that to you,
Right.
all your opportunities in insurance, like, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what I think is important about that is people, when they approach insurance, they're shopping for price instead of value.
Right.
It's one thing to pay for a policy.
100%.
It's a whole different thing to understand that policy and have it explained to you where you can actually benefit from it.
And there are times where I'll, tell someone like, hey, look, we're trying to get you to closing. Okay. So we're going to give you these higher deductibles, but the day after closing, I will be calling you and we will be going over this to see, what monthly payment plan we can make for an endorsement. So we're going to put your deductible lower, right? We're going to get it where you're good, where you feel more comfortable. And then the next year we'll check again, hey, can you do another $20 a month? Let's get your deductible down from 5% to 3% on wind and hail, right? And please take a look at your roof. Every storm, take a look at your roof. Because at some point you have to realize this is, Janice in her home who doesn't have 50 grand sitting around. How can you help that person when they have that claim?
Well, I mean, to your point, I hadn't even thought about this. I'm so glad you said this. Dude, we had a storm last night.
Oh, yeah, it was rough.
We had a storm last night.
It didn't hit down incline.
Interestingly enough, my mother-in-law had her car down in Pearland a week and a half ago.
Yeah, that was
and
rough too.
she was on a trip, and she met some people down there she went on the trip with. Her car got beat to hell. I mean, it was bad. In fact, she had an adjuster here just today. The adjuster said, if parts don't have to be replaced, it's going to be $8,500 that we're going to pay out. If parts have to be replaced, it's going to go way up, which is great that she's got insurance at $500 deductible on that. That's great. But last night I woke up at 2:00. Did you wake up?
I did not.
I don't know how you just slept through this, dude.
That's when I sleep the hardest.
Well, so
I don't know why I always have.
We had a storm last night that I've been near and in tornadoes before.
Yeah.
I've been in hurricanes before. The wind last night had me more concerned than any of those that I've ever been in. It was
like rafter twisting wind.
Yes, it was crazy. And now, to be fair, I've not lived in this house in a hurricane or a tornado.
Right.
So I don't know what this house sounds like. I'll say that.
Still breaking her in.
Well, not only that, we got a lot of trees on my property.
Yeah.
A lot of trees. And so I'm just sitting there going, oh, please, God, do not let a tree fall over on my house. And it's one of those things where now, as soon as you said that, I'm going, I need to check my roof.
Right.
Because the amount of, and here's why. That roof is probably 10 years old at this point, maybe 12. But if it can be replaced, replace it. Every time it can be replaced, I feel like I should replace it. Well, and you're
preventing further damage. So if you look around your house after a storm and you find a shingle, you should have the roof checked. If you see more granules on the ground, that means that the roof was either impacted or twisted, because that breaks those granules off the tar paper or the actual shingle. So if you look and you see those, you should have your roof checked. And what I tell people is get the roofer to come before the adjuster. You just want to have them come and look. They may come down and say like, hey, look, you got 3 shingles. Don't even call.
Well, and a roofer that's any good will show up when the adjuster's there.
They will, because they need to paint the picture.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they need to say like, look, hey, the adjuster, they don't just do roofs. They do all kinds of things. And if that roof is really steep, that adjuster may not even end up on the roof. They may do that by drone or what they call a ladder assist, which is someone, which is usually a roofer who comes and gets up on the roof instead of the adjuster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they take pictures.
When we had ours done, the adjuster came out, and our roofer, 3 different buildings. He, went up on our house, went up on the pool deck, and then they came over here to this building. And every time before that, the roofer had gone up first, and the adjuster put the ladder up on this roof, and he goes, "Aren't you going up?" He goes, "Not on this one."
Yeah. Well,
and the adjuster's response to that was like, "I'm not going up there either."
Yeah. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I'm 45 years old. You are not going to pay me to get on my roof.
No.
I used to.
Yeah. But it's hard to get me off the ground at all.
Yeah, well, because I'm just less dumb than I used to be, which is saying a lot. But I think that you realize that it's not worth it.
No.
It's not. I knew someone that's just slightly older than me that fell off his roof not too long ago, and I'm like, dude was in the hospital for weeks.
Oh, easily, yeah.
And it's just like,
we don't bounce
you're lucky.
Anymore.
No, you're lucky that you're in hospital for weeks.
Yeah, that's if you land on something flat.
Correct. Right. And so I think you're right. I think that it's like you need to understand the game. And I think that's where I'm coming back to is like, Ryan, we had a major storm last night. And by the way, I've got gutters. Mm-hmm. So guess where the granules are going to be?
They're in the gutter.
Yep. So, okay, I'm willing to get on a ladder to look in the gutter. I can do that. But
if you scoop out a handful, then it's definitely time to get a roofer over there to check it.
It's worth getting up there and checking, right? Yep. But that's a quick, like for you, it's a quick text message or it's a quick phone call. Hey, Ryan, was the storm bad enough last night that I need to check my roof? And you can probably go, yeah, it's worth checking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's one thing. Advocate.
Yeah. If you have a great agent, they're going to have a way to get a hold of them often and easily. So, I mean, like we use AI for that and it's only out of office hours. If you text my office, you're going to get an AI response from an assistant that's actually trained by me with answers, with a library of information. And if that doesn't work, I give everybody my cell phone number. Everybody. If I don't answer you, it's because I'm busy with my family or, I'm just not answering at that time because, I'm talking to somebody else, but I will get back to you. And text message is great because you can just say, hey, I need to add a car like you did. And okay, what's the VIN? I'll do it tomorrow morning, Yeah. Or we just had a storm come through. Hey, are you okay? I have gone out to people's houses and taken limbs off of their roof before, you just, be a person.
Be a person.
Right. Be a person.
Like you're
asking a lot right now, Ryan.
Well, you can go online, right? You can go online and you can get a policy from anybody. You can get a policy from any other agency out there, probably the same one that I can sell. Mm-hmm. But, you're getting is it a person? You know, I mean, I remember being looked at like I'm a weirdo because a friend called in, or a lady called in that just had a claim, and she was totally distraught. And she was just like, will you pray for me? And I was like, right now? She was like, okay. And I was like, let's pray. I was like, cool. And I looked up, and the person across from me was like, "Did you just pray for somebody?"
Yeah. Did you not? What are you
cool,
doing?
right?
What are you doing? Just eating lunch over there?
Yeah, but you're, when you use
Heartless. Sorry.
but when you use a good agent, you're talking to someone like, be a person.
So
right?
let me ask you that question.
Yeah.
Are you more expensive than that other person?
No, absolutely not.
That's the travel agent thing.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like,
and because
you're not
I'm
more
looking to save you money on your claim, or save you money by packaging, or help you by saying, hey, can you just get a little bit of life insurance so when you die, your family doesn't kill me for not selling it to you? Those types of things are going to save you money in the long run.
Right.
And you get some jokes and somebody who cares,
Well, and you sold me life insurance.
Absolutely.
And I think it's because, and I know that this is a business for you. I'm aware.
Right.
I know that. It's also a business for Craig whenever he comes over today and sprays my house.
Right.
I know that he's making a living off that.
Yep.
However, I know who you're associating yourself with.
Yeah. I tell our kids, we worship, we educate, we play, we do sports, we live in our community. We do all those things in the same place because I expect you to be the same good person at all of those places, not somebody else.
Right.
So if I write a policy for somebody at my church, I don't want them turning around and saying, you dirty rat, you didn't tell me, blah, And if they did, I would be horrified.
Sure.
Horrified.
Of all the places.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be at the grocery store and get hit with a can of soup in the back of the head because you mess somebody over.
I want to see that once, by the way.
I get Crocodile Dundee at the grocery store.
Me a policy. It's like,
how do you like them peaches?
Yeah, the tomato sauce. Anyways,
Why did it have to be glass?
well, I think this is just realistically, we have badgered the insurance just situation.
Oh yeah,
for a couple of years now.
It's frustrating
since the rates have just gone skyrocket high.
Yep,
which has really been like 4 years now. Up.
You mean the increase?
Yeah, 4 or
increases.
5 years at least.
Yeah.
We've hit insurance hard with how dare you? We've talked about that a lot, but I think the thing that we have to remember, it's like this, man. Like if you want to talk to me all day long about the price of cars are too much, if you go buy a new car, it's too much. It's way too much. I used to be able to buy a truck for $25,000. Now it's $85,000.
They keep on buying them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because the reality of it is, I don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna drive somewhere, I don't have a choice. Same thing about gas. You can say it all day long, like, oh well, a year ago gas was $2.50 and now it's $30.99. People in California are going $3.99. That's how much it is here.
Yep.
And people are outraged by it. Okay, have you stopped driving?
Right.
No.
Well, and
you
I think
figure it out.
when people realize that the insurance industry is happy making 4 cents on the dollar, and your insurance agent gets average maybe 12%
Of that. Yeah.
then they pay 2% of that for administrative. Another 2% of that is for your service team. That's if you have a team of service people, maybe. And then you haven't even touched overhead. You haven't touched rent. You haven't touched payroll. You haven't done any of those things. You start to realize, like, okay, this person is earning their keep by making sure I'm protected the right way.
Sure. You're making, you're you're making very little money on the dollar amount.
Absolutely.
But you're still making a living.
Of course.
And I think that's the thing that we have to recognize is my point in saying, you're still buying the vehicle, you're still buying the gas, you're still buying the groceries. It's because you have to.
Right.
You really don't have a choice in the culture and the society that we live in. So the biggest question that you're really going to have to answer is, are you going to buy from like the gas from Sam's or QT or Sunoco? Because most people buy it from the same place every time.
Right.
Most people, they pass the same gas station and they buy the same gas at the same station every single day that they buy gas. Same thing with the vehicles. Oh, well, I bought my vehicle over at Gullo Ford. I'm going to go back to Gullo Ford because that's the place that I buy my vehicles. I think that we have to recognize that you don't have to like the fact that insurance costs more. Ryan Aduddell, sitting right here next to me, doesn't like the fact that insurance costs more today than it did 10 years ago.
Nope.
He doesn't like that any more than you do. But the difference is, are you going to talk to someone who cares about you, who knows what they're doing, who is willing to y'all, he called underwriting without me asking him to do so to save me money. Like that's the type of guy that you want in your corner. So I think that you just need to know what you're doing. Call the right people. If it's not Ryan, call your right person, whoever it is. And Ryan can't do insurance everywhere. You can do it in Texas. Where else?
Anywhere in Texas.
Anywhere in Texas.
Anywhere in Texas.
And beyond that, you can't do it.
I've got friends.
You got friends.
You too.
So and we have a lot of people that aren't in Texas, that listen to the show. So just make sure you're doing your due diligence. Now,
Right.
I do want to. Do we have anything we really need to talk about that you're like, I need to talk about insurance more?
No.
Okay.
Insurance is boring.
Okay.
I'm good.
I got another quick thing. We've already been going. How long have we been going? We've been going for an hour and a half. I got one more thing that I want to bring up because I think it's really cool.
Okay.
You got like a new little thing happening that is tangential to insurance, right?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it?
Okay.
Okay. Or do you want me to talk about it?
Go ahead.
Well, it's really cool. Like so Ryan has built a new thing, and it's a website. The main thing is a website, but what's happening and this is all we've been talking about is reason for this. People are moving to Texas in droves, and many of the people that are moving to Texas just want to hunt.
Just want to hunt.
Right. They want to hunt. They can't hunt in Oregon.
They
so
don't
they're
like
going to
rats.
move to Texas.
They don't want
They don't
rats.
want rats. They don't want coyotes. They don't
Right.
want hogs. They want to hunt. Or
think
they
that's
don't
fair.
or they don't want the politics, or they don't want the tax rates or whatever it is. People are moving in, like industries are moving to Texas.
Right.
And here's the problem. So almost 10 years ago, we moved to Texas. We lived in Texas, moved away from Texas, moving back to Texas. Never lived in Houston before. Never lived in Houston. And so when we moved here, we had some friends some relatives that live in South Texas, South Houston. So like the Pearland, Friendswood area. So my job was in Conroe. And I was like, I think we'll live in Spring because they got some cool neighborhoods and it's closer to Pearland.
Right.
And I was advised not to buy in Spring. By people that I didn't know very well at the time, but I trusted. And I was told, you want to move north of Spring. Mm-hmm. And Spring was great at a time, and you might want to move north. And so we did. We moved north. But the only reason we did that is because we had people that told us you should move to this place because the schools are better, The community is growing. Your resale value is going to be higher. Like the restaurants that you're going to want to eat at are probably up here anyway. And gave us a litany of reasons we should move where we moved. We didn't know that. We never lived in Houston before.
Right.
I don't know how much houses cost, which was a whole nother thing, because I didn't even know how much I need to ask for what I should make based on what I lived off of in Arkansas.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if the cost of living
Which
is
was
the same
wild
or
hogs
different.
and berries. Right?
Correct.
Yes.
That was it. Yeah, and snow, way more snow than I knew what to do with. And like I didn't know anything. So Ryan has decided to fix that problem and go, how about I build something that just tells you all the information about if you're moving to Houston, let me tell you about the schools. Let me tell you about the towns. Let me tell you about the tax rates. Let me tell you about the home values. Let me tell you about everything you could possibly ever want to know so that you can make an informed decision. And if you still don't know how to do that based on all of this unbelievable amount of information
I don't know how to help
that's
you.
out there, then, but the great thing is like you can just send a message.
Right.
And then I can help you.
Yeah.
But like it's currently just Texas, right?
Just Texas.
And so if you want to move to the Houston area, the Dallas area, the Austin area, the San Antonio area, the Lubbock area, the Waco area, the wherever area, there's going to be information on that website about that area, that place, the schools, the tax rates, the everything that you could possibly need to know. Is on there. And I'm telling you, whenever you showed this to me, I was like, dude, how many pages are on this website? And you go, I don't even know.
I don't even know.
What is the website?
It's called thetxrelocationguide.com.
The txrelocationguide.com. We'll link that up. We'll link it up.
So the Texas Relocation Guide. So basically what I found is there are tons of guides out there, right? And you go to the guide and it's like, okay, how do I move to Houston, right? It's just Houston. Mm-hmm. And then you look on there and it's just that realtor or it's just that listing. And I was like, I don't want to just talk to that realtor. I don't want to just have like their listings. I want to be able to click through. Like I'm a data guy, right? I want to know what's the ISD, what's the HOA, where's the house that I want. I don't want to search, I don't want to click on all the little buttons and be like, oh, that one's too expensive. Like sort it for me, right? So I just started working on this project and, using prompting and algorithms and things like that to build it out. And then obviously talk to my consultant. Her name's Laura. My wife, which Friday is her birthday, by the way. So
Happy birthday, Laura.
On her birthday. But it just started building it. And just growing it and, looking up more and more resources, getting tips from friends, like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, man, I wish it had this, or I wish it had that. And so it's trying to gain traction now through social media and other things, but it's a great resource. And one cool thing is, as well as if you're not finding what you need, you can just say, build me a guide, put your information in there. And you can say, I want to talk to a roofer or a realtor or, a loan officer. And we'll connect you with people that are vetted. But if you don't want to talk to anybody, don't talk to anybody. You don't have to. Your information only just gets passed on to that person to reach out to you, and that's it. Nice. So it's a really great way to go source all that information without ending up on somebody's email list. Or phone call list. So it's just a great resource.
Yeah, no, I love it because it is, as someone who has done that in the past 10 years, it's daunting.
It's a lot.
It really is daunting, especially if you're coming from, I used to live in Texas, so I'm familiar with Texas stuff.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have income tax. I know we have high property taxes, and I knew a lot about it because I lived here before. Right. But if you're coming from a place like Arkansas that does have state income tax and their property value and those sorts of things is very different. Or California.
Yeah, we have a guide where you can go in and just say, I'm moving from California to Houston. and it will tell you what the differences are
Yeah.
on all of those things. So it's pretty awesome.
How granular is it getting? I mean, like in Kevin's situation, could he tell the difference in this from spring to Conroe?
Yeah, it will. Not so much spring to Conroe, but maybe if you were looking at the difference between Houston and San Antonio, you might see a difference.
Okay.
Because the counties that's pretty drilling down pretty far. But it's mainly for people that are moving out of state or say moving from Dallas to San Antonio, where there's some sizable differences in the way things look. But, if you're coming from New Jersey, where do I want to live?
And you don't know who to talk to.
Right.
Like that's the thing is like I don't have a clue. I'm moving. Here's for most people that move to Houston, and I'm saying this is a very blanket statement because Houston is the third or fourth, depending on the day, largest city in America.
It's as big as several states.
Right. And especially by land mass. And so I'm going to say something that is just an overgeneralization. But most of the people that move to Houston are moving here for petroleum reasons, right? Gas, oil and gas.
Medical.
Right.
Yep.
Medical, oil and gas. Those are the primary reasons. And the person that hired you is your contact.
Right. Or someone at their company.
Or someone at their company. And
who's usually a realtor.
Right.
Right.
Correct. And if they are kind enough to help you out and being honest with you because they really want you here.
Right.
They really want you here. They'll tell you what you need to hear in order to get you here. If they're being really honest with you, then you're lucky to find that information out.
Right.
But then you feel guilty about hounding them about like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And eventually they're going to be like, why did we hire this person? And so I do think that is a value that this website offers is like, I can go in at 11:30 at night, and when I finally have some peace and quiet at my house, and learn something about anything about where I'm about to move to.
Oh yeah, we even have videos from local experts that we're not even affiliated with them. We I'm like, hey, this is a great video on Katy. We plug that right into the website.
That's a town, by the way.
Through. Yeah, Katy.
Sound like we have somebody working in the back.
Katy, Texas.
Dang it, Katy.
Yeah. Or what's the difference between spring and Klein, or magnolia and magnolia? Yeah. Like, what's the difference, right? Because there's a difference. But there's those things are just there at your fingertips. You don't have to get hounded. You don't have to, you don't have to have your boss say, oh, yeah, you can get a great house for $200K.
Ugh.
You can just go on there and say, show me a house in spring for $200K.
Not going to find it.
And then you'll go, ouch. Yeah, no.
Not in that location.
Not bringing my grandma and mom and 3 kids to that house. So
cool, man.
It's pretty
I love it. It's a really neat thing. And if you're out there and looking to move to Texas, or even if you're looking to move in Texas to another place, it's a great resource.
Yep.
So to give it to us again,
the txrelocationguide.com.
Okay, cool. We'll link it up. It's in the show notes or down below. Cool. So, Craig, you got anything else?
Man, I'm spent.
Yeah, I know. Look, we appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you for showing up tonight. It's a late night whenever we do these things, but we appreciate it. We love you, and we appreciate you very much. Those of you out there, if you have not already given us a like, a share, a rating, a review, all those sorts of things, it really helps us out. Give us to your friends. Show them who we are. We appreciate you very much. Until next time, we'll see you later. See ya.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.